to the XP GamesCast, episode 17. I'm your host, Omar.
And I'm James.
James the man. A little bit speed run. So, my favorite game in the last couple of weeks has been a game called Ark. I showed you. You is a hater.
It was impressive. I just didn't bother to play it, Omar.
You gotta play it. Anyways, this might make you play it. Ark is... The next update is coming out. I think it came out today, actually. They're going to improve the frame rate because sometimes when you're with a bunch of dinosaurs or you're running, sometimes it drops to about if I'm going to guess, because I don't know about frame rates too much, I would say about 12 or so. And they're adding split screen, which they didn't have before.
Cool.
Yeah, so now you can play with a buddy. That's close. We're going to talk about this. This is going to be one of our topics of the show because I have some questions about it. I know you haven't played it, but you did look it up. But, we'll see. Forza 6 Porsche DLC was leaked. Expansion was leaked. So, take that how you want to take it. I don't play Forza. It is one of the games I did look at because I do have an Xbox. The Vision beta that came out last weekend had problems with cheating.
Cheating?
Only on PC, though. Not on Xbox One or PS4. But on PC, there's people who were cheating on there. So,
for shame. Hopefully
they fix that before the game comes out in about a month now. Or about 3 days. A month and 3 days if you want to be very specific with it. Halo's Arbiter.
That alien guy.
Yeah, he's been teased for Killer Instincts next season. So if you actually like Killer Instincts, I got it for free. It was one of the free games last month. He's going to be a character. Kind of weird that they're just taking this random Halo character that...
not really. Sony did a similar thing with Uncharted where they brought in some random Sony characters to play in the multiplayer. And it was actually kind of fun. They were just skins, but...
I didn't play Uncharted online, but that's pretty cool. If you haven't downloaded them yet, if you haven't played with them yet, Bayonetta and Corrin came out Wednesday night. Pretty good characters. I like them so far.
I haven't touched them.
They're Corrin is kind of a heavy hitter, but he's pretty medium speed. His dragon mode's kind of a little beastie. When he you do a smash attack, he turns into a dragon or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And Bayonetta's just like a combo queen, I guess you want to call it. She's just really good combos. She can do up air a couple times, her up B a couple times. Her witch mode is pretty cool, but characters, we got them.
Do you think they're balanced enough, or do you think they're gonna get nerfed?
No, they'll get nerfed. Everybody's gotten nerfed. Even Cloud's starting to get nerfed now, but just the character. That's just how the characters come out. They just make them really cool, and then they don't realize that sometimes their powers are just a little too powerful.
Yeah, just a bit.
So, Metal Gear Online will add Quiet, new maps, new mode, and more in March.
Cool.
Are you excited about that?
A little bit.
I know you really like it online. I thought it was okay online.
It's okay. It's not what it used to be, but I mean,
yeah, I think it's a little
something. They brought it back to what Metal Gear Solid 2 Online was. I'd be happy.
Alright. I like Metal Gear Solid. You said 2?
Yeah, it's technically the second online game that they've put out. The first one was with Metal Gear Solid 3. It was just a really small thing, it wasn't major or anything. But then 4 came out, and then there was a lot more support to it. So,
Mirror's Edge Catalyst announcement teasing for next week. I never played the first one. So just the news for the people who
My ex did play with the first Mirror's Edge. She said she wasn't happy with it.
Some people say. NX, we talked about it last week. They're rumoring a Smash Brothers one. People are speculating, is it going to be a new one, or are they just going to port it with a gold edition where it's all the characters, DLC characters in one package. You get it, you get all the maps, all the skins, everything. As a launch for the NX. We talked about it last week. There's plenty of people working on NX games. Over 90% of the people on there, so.
You don't say.
Splatoon, if you haven't played that.
I want to.
You should try it. Support Cloud continues in some form. So what they're going to do is when you level up, I think this is an indicator that this is going to the NX, and all the progress you have, it's going to save in some network cloud. maybe their thing that they're doing next month. Their My Nintendo support thing, where it's kind of like you're the new. What was the other one called?
The new what?
It's like the new form of like the reward system.
I don't know.
I forgot what it's called, but it's gonna be there. So, starting this month until the end of December, you can get a exclusive Pokemon from GameStop each month. This month is starting with Mew, so you can go there, download Mew.
Oh, Mew right out of the gate, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
Mew right out of the gate. Celebi is gonna be one of them. Popular ones that like legendaries that nobody can get unless you play the old ones and whatnot. Pokemon Go developers are going to be discussing Pokemon Go at GDC, so look for that news if you're ready for Pokemon Go and that news. I don't think the game's coming out until like April.
Mm-hmm.
If it comes out in April, or if it doesn't come out in April, then I don't know when that game's gonna, like where that game's gonna fall.
Yeah.
So, Nintendo is launching their mobile game, Miitomo or something like that. It's like, it's kind of like that. I forget what the game's actually from, but it's just like you make your Mii character, and then they like live in this like a town and whatnot. It's kind of like Animal Crossing. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, what was the game called? Like not Tagan. I'm thinking Tomochi
Life, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, that's gonna be their first mobile game that they're gonna release. So, and it's supposed to come out next March with, next month in March with that My Nintendo, which is their new reward system. Both of those are coming out next month.
I think if that game had some online capability to it, to where like you're passing other people on your phone, that'd be a little bit more interesting. But
yeah,
I won't know for sure.
Final Fantasy 15 might be coming to PC. Just a little report. If you have a PC and you really like Final Fantasy, maybe they're gonna make it for it. Maybe not. Arc is gonna be on PS4 as well.
Cool.
So if you don't have an Xbox One, the reason why Arc is on Xbox One right now as a preview is because PlayStation doesn't allow certain games to be previewed on their system, and this is one of the games that came out. It's in alpha form still. They don't. I think PlayStation believes that like they don't want to put a game out there unless it's finished. So that's just how it is. But it is coming. The developers say that it is coming. They've been taking a lot of feedback, and they said that the system will actually probably benefit from. The PS4 version will benefit from Xbox One owners having it, because obviously they've been doing everything and testing it and giving feedback, and we're gonna get a complete game on the PS4
eventually.
Yeah. So Resident Evil 4 Wii Edition is coming to Wii U. So if you haven't played Resident Evil 4 for some reason,
you like
get it.
A rock.
The Wii Edition is probably the best one. I don't know if it's gonna have the Wii motion controls, but it's the best one, my hands down. Dust 514 is closing down. So it was a free game on the PS3. It's only been out for 2 years.
Wait, what game?
It's called Dust 514. It's like a MMO shooter. It wasn't that good when I played it. I stopped playing it within like 20 minutes of me starting it up.
I never even heard of it.
2 years after it comes out, they're already shutting it down.
So sad.
Dark Souls 3 video showcase new class, ability, and fast action. So if you like Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, any of those games is definitely worth a look. But if you don't want to spoil anything for stuff, you don't have to. Nobody said anything. Kojima and Del Toro will reunite this month for a special presentation.
Oh man!
So I don't know if this is a new scary game.
Oh man!
We'll see what happens. I know Kojima went on tour with like DICE developers and stuff, and now he's going with Del Toro. This is probably something that they talked about. Him leaving, and he said, "Why don't we just make the game that we're gonna make and not call it Silent Hill?" And that's what it's gonna be.
I wonder if Norman Reedus is gonna be there.
Probably not.
What?
Hunger Game, like 16-player battle royale game coming to Steam. So that sounds pretty cool.
Hunger Game, the game, or is it
just a Hunger Game like game that's a battle royale game as well?
Like a gladiator game.
Yeah.
Cool.
Batman Arkham Knight canceled for Mac and Linux. So if you got a Mac, you should already know that Mac doesn't really get support from anything. I guess
not really.
Taylor Swift is getting her own game, and it's described as one of a kind. So we'll see what that's about.
Welcome to our world, Taylor Swift.
Pokemon Red and Blue soundtrack coming to vinyl. So if you, record players are coming back, hipster thing.
They've been back. They've been off and on.
BMX legend Dave Mirra found dead, 41 years old.
I heard about that.
Apparently he committed suicide.
That's what I heard.
Sad news if you were a BMX fan. All the old school BMX games back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. New World War II shooter for Xbox One, PS4, PC reaches funding goals. Supposedly it's this really cool action game. We'll see what happens. Earthbound sequel, Mother 3, might finally be coming to the West.
Cool.
So be excited for that. We need to get more hype around these games because they're really good, and I feel like people just don't. You know what? We'll say that for last.
Okay, fine.
Ghost in the Shell live action movie cast as villain role.
Cool.
There's a lot of people who are pissed off about that. So.
Why?
Because they casted Scarlett Johansson as the main character, and obviously she's not Asian. So people are just like,
oh my god.
True anime fans and blah blah blah. Last year Conan O'Brien did this thing where he got the 2 players from each team of the Super Bowl, put them in a room, and they played Mortal Kombat X when it came out.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty funny. They had like this crazy like gory stuff. These people who don't play video games are just like, oh, that's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the fatalities and whatnot.
Yeah.
Brought it back this year. Got somebody from the Broncos and somebody from the Panthers. Brought them in a room, and they're playing Doom, which is another like graphic gory game. They're really funny. He's pretty funny himself, so go check one of those videos out.
I think I might.
Yeah. Star Wars Episode 7 will pass 2 billion worldwide this weekend, Disney says.
Wow.
And the last news we have is Ark, which we're going to lead into the next topic. They had terror birds, which is a new animal, grappling hooks, and more.
Cool.
So I think this is the one that has a split screen on it we talked about earlier, but yeah, pretty cool. And that's going to be the next game that we talk about, so
okay.
Take a little break. We're going to talk about Ark, Survival Evolved. Minecraft, Turok, Far Cry type game. Really fun. You haven't tried it yet.
I haven't played it. I watched you play it. I checked out some videos, and like, it's impressive. I just don't want to spend money towards an uncompleted game.
So here's my thing. I get what you're saying, and I fully respect what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong. When I first went to go buy the game, I was like, I don't want to buy this. It's not out yet.
All right.
But I messed up, and I just bought it anyways. And then I saw that it was just a preview. My thing is, it is a full game. It is a full game.
Well, yeah, because you can still build and do other
not
stuff.
even that. It's a full game. Like, this could be the game. This could just be the game.
Oh, yeah.
With an exception of there's not, like, all the full dinosaurs. There's not all the full, like, you know, stuff that you can do in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, for reasons that they didn't put all the dinosaurs in there yet. They're adding dinosaurs, you know, whatever. But it's definitely a full game. It's a full game. You can play this game and get the full experience out of it right now. What they're doing right now is just a test, obviously.
Okay.
My thing is, do you think games should do this more often? This is a really cool game. You spend your money up front. You're going to get the game for free when it's a full-fledged game. You're just buying it now, but you get to play it in alpha form, practically. But you get to play it for a while. Like, you get to play it until the game comes out. Like, I have this game. They do updates every couple of weeks. They add different things. New dinosaurs. I looked up the Wikipedia page. There's, like, a ton of dinosaurs that aren't even in the game yet. They added, like, they just added basic dinosaurs, like pterodactyls and the T-Rex and Spinosaurus and, like, a gorilla, and they have, like, mammoths and dire wolves and stuff like that. and that's a lot. That's a lot right there. The world is pretty big. The things that they're missing in this game are like randomly generated worlds, making more than one area. Like you can only make one place, and then you can join in the PvP rooms. You can only make one character at a time. Just stuff like that. Like that's just like minor stuff to me. That's like okay, I don't get to make more than one character, more than one world. It's just the alpha practically. Like obviously they're not gonna give you the key to like have like 60 different worlds. Like that's just what it is. But do you think like some of the games are like something like Division? Maybe like an alpha. They put the alpha out there and they're just like, hey, keep playing it, give us feedback, let us know what you want. This might not be the final finished game, but whatever. Instead of telling us that the game's coming out, then it's not out. Then they delay it. Then it's not out again. Then they delay it again.
See, that's kind of my problem with this. It's kind of like a pay and play type thing.
But it's not.
But it kind of is at the same time.
Here's the thing. The difference between that is, a lot of people said before that something like Candy Crush or like Plants vs. Zombies, they would rather pay $20 and never get hit with like, oh, pay this and you can do this, pay this and you can do that. This is $35. You get the game, it's yours. You get the new version when it comes out, and you never have to pay anything ever again.
Okay. Well, I guess my only thing with this kind of, business plan is I've seen ways it can go wrong, aka Kickstarter. Like, I've heard some bad stories through Kickstarter where, like, people will invest their hard-earned money to see this person create a great game, and A, this person doesn't have the resources for it. B, it was just like, haha, just kidding, I'm not actually going to build your game. And then he just takes the money and splits, and legally you can't do anything about it, which is kind of gay. So it's just like, I get that this isn't Kickstarter, but at the same time, I could see where it could go wrong and people could misuse it.
Well, with the Kickstarter thing, not to, correct you, but now they have to give the money back to you. It's, like, required that they give the money back. If they don't use it, it has to go back. Like, they have, like, the credit, but if they don't deliver, then the credit goes away. So, that's just what I've heard. 2, this is a game that's out, though. Like, it's out. As for, like this, if this game never comes out, if I just spent $35 on this game, and it never comes out ever, or they, like, keep it this way, and they're like, oh, well, the game's out, we're just gonna use this model or whatever. Yes, that sucks. That would suck. But I've already put more hours into this game than I have any game this year.
Yeah.
And I've read forums, and people are saying this is their favorite game ever. This is becoming one of the best games that they've ever played. If you like Minecraft, like, why not play something that's realistic with dinosaurs of all things to be like killing? The game's very scary at certain points, but yeah, it's like one of those things where it's just like, would certain games benefit off of this? And is there certain games that wouldn't benefit off of this? Like, obviously this is online, there's no story to it, it's all about the gameplay. So, like, something like, maybe if they would have did it with, like, certain games that, like, were bad last year, like Evolve. What if they put it out and they were like, well, here's this game, this is what you do, there's the 3 monsters or 2 monsters, here's 1 character for each class, and we could just play that over and over and over, and then we can give them feedback and be like, this game isn't as fun as, like, you guys are making it out to be. And then they go back and they go, oh, okay, we'll fix that.
I mean, that's kind of what they're doing now, though, with, like, DLC and other stuff, right? They go and fix their game with that.
Yeah, but that's a game that came out. That's a game that's fully fledged. Out. It's done. It went gold. It's not alpha.
Well, you just said Ark was fully done.
No, it's not. No, I'm saying it's practically... You said
it was out, though.
No, I'm saying it's practically a full game. It doesn't come out till June. It's a preview, but it's practically a full game. Like, if you play this game, you'll be like, you would take the game this way, which is better, like, which is like everything fixed, like no glitches and stuff like that. Like, you would take this game without any glitches. Like, it has glitches because it's just alpha. Like, things can happen. Like, I lost 2 pterodactyls. Like, I had them, and they started flying around in the circle, and they flew into the sky and then just disappeared. Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if they took that out, like if they fixed that, we're like that wouldn't happen again. Like this game is perfect the way it is. Just take out the glitches.
Well, you're gonna get glitches in some games.
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
It's hard to find bugs. That's why game testers are there.
Yeah. But I'm sure people are like, you know, anytime something like that happens, they go to the forum and be like, hey, I lost 2 pterodactyls. And they're like, what happened? I was like, they spun in the air and they were spinning around each other, and they're like, all right, we're gonna address that. We're gonna look at something like that and fix that. As for like Assassin's Creed or Fallout 4, they're fully out, they're done. And if I go and be like, hey, my guy's face is missing when I go to talk to him in Assassin's Creed, or I go in freaking Fallout 4 and all my progress gets erased because I went to this room and it never loaded up again. That's a completed game.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Like I said, if enough people complain about it, eventually the developers get around to fixing it. And which, like, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But
most of the time they don't, though.
Well,
like, how do you fix Fallout 4? They can do a patch that like maybe fixes that, but that's like the game's out. You paid $60 for that. You know what I'm saying? Like this preview, I spent $35. I'm gonna get my money back in some way. If this game never comes out, I guarantee Xbox will be like, "Hey, we fucked up. Here's your $35 back."
I don't know. Xbox has been pretty bad in the past with business consumer management skills. I mean, like.
I would say they probably actually did. They're probably one of the better people to fix their mistakes. If you
That's iffy. I'm sure there are bad stories and good stories on both sides.
Yeah, but if you look at it, they took back millions of Xbox 360s back when that Red Ring happened.
Yeah.
They probably wasted. They probably put it out there, didn't realize it, because I've heard stories where some of the companies didn't know that this was a problem when they did it. They were trying to make it cheap and efficient. They ship it out there. They bring it back. They do it for free. It doesn't cost the consumer any money to send the box back with, the Xbox 360 in it. They fix it. I heard the estimate amount was like billions of dollars that they had to pay out to fix everybody who brought, one in.
Yeah, but a lot of times they didn't even fix the problem. They just replaced it with a 360 and hope it wouldn't happen again. But as I'm saying, like, I don't know. I think some gamers like me are stingy and skeptical about like where we put our money in games.
Yeah,
like I get that it's only like half the price of a regular game, but at the same time, it's still not completed all the way. I get that it has like some stuff in it that can make it like, oh, this could be the whole game if you really wanted it to. But from what you tell me, it's just like there's more that they're going to add, and the game itself still isn't fully like at what it's not what its best could be.
Yeah, well, here's what everything that is said. So they don't mislead you at all. When you go to buy the game, they don't say, hey, here's this game, buy it. No, they say, this is a preview, this is not a completed game, and this could be a completely different game once it comes out.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is like, because it's not, like, because it can change, a player could be like, yeah, I'll invest $35, changes, player dislikes it, is he going to get his money back?
He's not going to, but
that's
he's getting the game for free, and the game...
He didn't get the game for free. He's got to pay $35.
Well, I mean, he's getting the game when it comes out as a complete package for the price that he paid before. Like, he's not getting charged double or whatever. But my thing is, like, you're looking too much that it's going to be a completely different game. They say that, but I don't think it will be.
Right.
Everybody's telling them that the game is perfect the way it is, with the exception of glitches and the limitations that they have on them, like not enough worlds and whatever. Like a lot of people like the game the way it is already.
Right.
And I don't see anything wrong with the game. This game is going to be what it is right now, with fixed up and whatnot. We're just playing it earlier and testing it and being like, hey, my pterodactyls flew away. And then
what's stopping the developers to just scrap the whole thing and be like, yo, we don't like the way this game's turning out, we're going to build something new. And then you still ended up paying $35 for that.
It'd be different if the game was bad. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a negative and a good side to this, like you're saying. The negative is that, like, the game never comes out, or the game is completely different than what I like. The positive side is all my feedback made this game better and great, and it made it, like, the game that I want from my feedback. There's just a ton of games that I feel like they put out, and they're just never that good ever.
I get that.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like, something like this where I'm like, hey, I'm playing this game, I'm doing cool stuff. Like I caught a brontosaurus the other day.
He caught a brontosaurus again.
I tamed it because you can tame any dinosaur in the game. Like the stuff that they have in the game right now, you're like, I could never do this in any other game, and it's just an alpha. So like, how good is this game gonna be when it comes out? Like even the graphics are even not even that bad. Like the water looks amazing, and it's just alpha. So there's things that they worked on to put in this game, and then there's things that like, I don't know, they're just finished up.
Well, Omar, from two sides of the table, we do have to agree that you're more of an indie like type person. I'm definitely more AAA, where it's just like this game, it's new, and it's already trying new things with like pricing, and already I'm skeptical because I'm just like, that's really weird. I've never encountered this before. Why are you trying to do new things?
I mean,
Do I think it's bad? Not all the way. For all I know, it could work out pretty good. Because I mean, like, you're only paying $35.
Yeah. Here's the one thing that I will counter with that. We gotta wrap this up because we got about a minute left.
Okay.
With like this, PC's been doing this. PC has early access.
What, Steam?
Yeah, they have had Steam early access. This game is actually on Steam early access.
Oh.
But there's been a ton of games that's been early access on the PC that has come out and people like it. Recently, last year, Darkest Dungeon was out like 4 months before the game was even considered coming out, and then it came out like this year. So it's like that's what I'm saying. Like there's games that benefit off of that, and this is one of those games where it's like they could have put the game out like this with all the glitches, except for they didn't. They put it out. You can buy it, test it, and then do whatever. But
I mean, paying half price for an unfinished game makes kind of sense. So
yeah. But you're not. You might be paying $35 for a full game once it comes out. But you're not paying that if you got the game now.
Well, what if they start asking people for more money when the game's out? Could they do that?
They could.
Well,
But if you really like the game the way it is, and they're like, well, this is what it looks like now, and it's still the same game, I would pay $60 for this game. I would pay $60 for the game that it is now. Is that good? We're gonna take our next break though.
we're taking another break.
I think that's all the time we have for this week. Very short episode. I'm trying to keep it like this speed. I'm gonna edit this video, try to do my best with it, and that's just what it is. So that's the end of episode 17.
We'll see you guys.